Okay, and we're back.
Back in the saddle again.
Yeah.
That is a fun fact for all you folks out there. Me and Christian started at Dreamwave the absolute same show.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yes, we did.
I did not know that. I didn't know that was your first night there, too.
It was, and I was a bundle of nerves. I was told earlier in the day that I would never be as good as the previous sound man.
That's encouraging.
And that
You gotta
person
love that.
proved to be very astute. But you know why, Dreamwave fans, I never turned it down when you would tweet how loud it was? For that reason.
I remember my first day there, I was also a bundle of nerves. And then, thanks to the legend of Ninja Bill, who suffered an unfortunate beating at my hands that night.
Ninja Bill.
Never to be,
I love the wrestling names. Ninja Bill.
never to be seen again, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah,
That was
yeah, for a fact.
First and last showing.
Yep.
Ninja Bill made quite a few appearances the first couple shows.
Yeah, the first few, and then,
Then
after
he would
after
come
that-
sporadically.
Yeah. Hey, Dave Chappie from Man Brain Podcast has joined us. If you haven't listened to Man Brain Podcast, listen to Man Brain Podcast because I love this fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit about the time where Dirty DL was pretty much winding up his time there.
Yeah. I think he teamed with Hollister for a bit while I was there.
Yeah,
Then
which
he
is a
was out,
shame
yeah.
because he was
Yeah.
just the absolute
Great
best.
dude.
Yeah.
Super fun.
You know, and the
Really.
ones who were in the ring where you think the biggest heels, the biggest bad guys
Yeah, worse people. Yeah.
are always the nicest guys in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, 99% of the time.
And the guys who are like the super face and everybody loves them.
I think there's usually this like dichotomy or whatever where if someone is like a genuinely nice person in real life with wrestling, it's like they bottle up all of the shitty things they feel and then they like let them out when
then
they're
they-
in ring performing. And then
It's very cathartic.
and then it's like on the flip side, there's people that are just like genuinely an asshole, and then when they're out in front of a camera or whatever, they have to be nice, and it's almost
Yeah.
like some weird inverse relationship or something. Like,
Over the weekend, I met.
If you're just joining us, this is Christian Rose, the
independent professional wrestler.
independent professional wrestler and the champion of
01 USA.
01 USA. That's right. Blake Leventon has joined us from the Noise Pollution Podcast. He's got a great podcast too.
Blake.
Check him out.
over
He helped me out. He helped me out tremendously last night. Thank you very much, Blake.
Over the weekend, I'm gonna plug the.
I had a short shoulder. He just rubbed the fuck out of it, and then
That's what he does.
love you, Blake.
I had a chance to do. I was at the X Fest, the X Files festival we have locally, which was huge and a great success.
Oh, the X Fest, yeah.
And Doug Hutchinson was there, and he played. He was the bad guy in Bait, which he was amazeballs. But you folks probably know him as Percy from the Green Mile.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimate heel, but he was probably one of my top 10 bad guys of all time in Bait, because that guy was just sleazy, creepy.
Oddly, I've used the.
I love that guy,
I've used
yeah.
the Percy character from the Green Mile before when people were trying to, like, wrestlers are asking me, like, what's the best way to be a convincing villain and be a great bad guy? And I said, you have to have no redeeming qualities.
You're right.
If you want to be a true villain, and if you go back and watch the Green Mile, it's a great movie.
Yes.
That Percy character has no redeeming qualities.
Right, none.
He never even has one moment where you're like, oh, he's just misunderstood or something.
no.
He's just a
He's just a
straight up
true
shithead.
fuck bad.
Like,
There is no mouse, Bill.
dude, it's so cold.
Just for no fucking reason,
just
other
sheer
just
spite. Like,
just to be the world's
like,
biggest dick.
that
I mean,
guy
that's-
is about to die.
Yeah.
And he won't even let him, like, have a fantasy of something.
of a mouseville.
Like,
yeah. He doesn't wet the
just-
sponge.
It's so just awful. But
And you know what? World's sweetest guy. I mean, he was just nice as can be.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And who was this guy? Did you say? Oh, Blake, that was him.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was actually him.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh. Was he?
He was Toombs in the X Files, the guy who could squeeze through stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He'd eat your liver.
And he'd eat your liver.
Hey, only 5 every 30 years. I mean, I could knock off 5 people. I wish you would
for
sneak
30
in and
for 30 more years.
I always thought it was weird, like, oddly, I have actually seen that episode. I always thought it was weird that it's 5 every 30 years. Why not just write it as 1 liver every 6 years? Wouldn't that just make it more like...
why does the clown come back every 27 years and it?
Dude, I don't know.
There you go. I don't know.
They just picked a number out of the hat.
Right, but I'm saying that they at least say once every 27 years. They don't try to say twice every 54. Sorry, I had to think about it. Twice every 54 years, Pennywise comes back.
Look at him doing math.
Look
and
at that.
Stuff. He helped us spell earlier.
He's not just got a good body,
I know,
folks.
right?
I'll tell you
He's a-
that right now.
He's a scholar.
He's a scholar.
Gentleman and
Look
a
at that. You almost did the Jesse Ventura there. That was look at that. Oh, those are what was that? 12 inches? Is that what those are? Are they?
Hogan had the pythons.
Yeah,
I got-
half the Hogan.
I
Is that what
got
you
garter snakes going on.
Hogan had the python. Jesse the Body had the gimmick. Luckily, Hogan stole that.
And
Yeah,
Superstar
yeah.
Billy Graham.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah, but you know what?
crushed coconuts with my.
Name a wrestler out there today who hasn't stolen a gimmick.
Can't be
Oh,
done.
yeah,
Other
no.
than-
Everybody's got a
no,
gimmick.
I can name one. The guy who dresses up as the robot.
Shockwave.
Shockwave.
Shockwave the robot. Yep.
Really?
That one. Yep.
I don't,
Shockwave and maybe Space Monkey.
wasn't there somebody named?
Space Monkey is some like next level
Is
insanity.
it? Is this independent or?
Yeah,
is
this is
it's
independent.
Space
Yeah,
Monkey's
yeah.
awesome.
Space
Space Monkey's
Monkey's
good too.
fantastic.
But
Hey, Matt
Space
Ultravog's
Monkey-
joining us. What's up, Matt?
Space Monkey is wow.
Yeah.
Space Monkey. That sounds like the name of a band.
I'm coming up on not.
Next to the stage, Space Monkey.
I'm actually coming up on this Saturday. I do have a show this Saturday in Sterling for. God, it sounds like it's all tied together. Funky Monkey Wrestling, not related to Space
Funky-
Monkey, totally different. Funky Monkey Wrestling,
Funky Monkey Wrestling.
Like super family friendly show. That's why it's like.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Because this new one that's around,
Yeah.
not family friendly. I can't take my daughter to it.
Didn't you once wrestle a frog
Twice actually. Twice.
A
I
frog.
wrestled a
out in
frog.
South Dakota?
Once in South Dakota, once in Metropolis, Illinois, home of Superman.
Nice.
Used to wrestle in Metropolis pretty frequently, actually.
So, when you say you wrestled a frog,
It's a guy. The first time it was Thunder Frog, and then he evolved the character to be Estonian Farmer Frog.
Is he lucha libre or?
He's wrestled in Chikara or been trained by some of the guys from Chikara, so like he does do a lot of lucha libre stuff or whatever. The first time I was just like, so what is this character? And the dude's like, he's not small by any means, he's a perfectly sized dude. But he's at first it was he's a frog who thinks that he's Thor, and I was like, all right, because the first time around he had like a hammer, and the whole thing was like nobody but him could lift the hammer. So like we did a thing in the match where I've got him down, and I go to grab the hammer to hit him with it, and I go to walk with it, and just I'm stuck or whatever. I can't lift the hammer. And then the second time was like years later in South Dakota.
it'd
North
be
Dakota.
cool, like if you could train yourself to dislocate your shoulder, like that would have been just fucking great.
But then the second time around was in North Dakota, and I was like, "So you're not Thunder Frog anymore?" And he's like, "No, I'm Estonian Farmer Frog now." And it's like, "So what has
Estonian
happened to
Farmer
this
Frog.
character?" And he goes, "Basically, I've lost all of my powers and had to take up farming mud in Estonia to make ends meet."
Oh
I was
wow!
like,
So they had a really
all
good
right.
storyline.
yeah, that character was like,
Hey,
bonkers.
fun fact: the game developers that sponsored X Fest from Estonia.
Really,
From Estonia.
I didn't even know it was a real country.
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
for
Estonia?
a long time.
Yeah, it's by, like,
Didn't you
Denmark.
watch what was it? Brandon Fraser, when he didn't say a fucking line in it. Pauly Shore.
Yeah. What a great movie.
Yeah.
Wait.
We's in the juice.
Squeeze in the juice. No more squishies. No more squishies.
Is that a Encino Man?
Yeah.
Encino
Yeah,
Man.
yeah,
Yeah.
We's in
And-
the juice
He's in the juice.
with a brain freeze.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore, your 15 minutes of fame was glorious.
And I love Pauly Shore. He's a stellar comedian.
his stand-up.
His stand-up is fucking phenomenal.
I keep thinking he's going to make a comeback.
You
He's
would
still
think.
tours.
No, I mean
Yeah, he
like
probably
like
still
in,
tours, yeah.
like
Like in the movies?
Yeah,
No,
But,
I don't
he
think
keeps
he's
making
gonna.
his own movies, and they're horrible.
Is that
the
right?
Bogus Witch Project?
No,
the
it's-
absolute worst movie I've ever seen in my whole life.
Is that right?
I'm not arguing with you, but
Yeah.
that's a strong claim to make. Man.
Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of the same skits just reimagined.
I've seen
by
the
other
Blair
people.
Witch Project, so I
I love the movie.
Oh, that was just fucking awful.
I didn't care for the original.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to kill them all. I wanted to kill the kids.
It was at the time that it came out, it was great because like that was like the first big found footage thing.
Once the secret was out,
it was real.
it sort of lost its luster.
Well, like the thing for me that killed it was like I grew up in the middle of nowhere. It was like I grew up on a farm. It was literally 7 miles to get to the nearest town, and the nearest town was just over 1,000 people.
Yeah, that's 1,600 people. It's where I grew up.
So then when I watched the Blair Witch Project, the first one, the whole time I'm like, guys, this isn't even the woods.
Yeah,
like,
this isn't even.
It's state park. I'm like, if you walk in a straight line for like 2 hours, you'll find a road and you'll go home. Like,
I've probably told this
here.
story before, but I broke down. I was like 18 years old or 19 years old. I broke down about 4 miles from my house on a dirt road in the middle of it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had a broken leg. And a fun fact about cornfields.
Oh God!
At 1 o'clock in the morning,
terrifying.
When you're on crutches, every breeze sounds like a psychotic killer when they come out and butcher you.
You know what? When you're out in the middle of nowhere, you still hear voices.
Oh my gosh! Like I'm like,
dude, like.
Like shit's just running like
and you have and you have no frame of reference even because like anytime like you said there's a slight breeze, it's not even that it's coming from one area.
Like, it sounds like
there's
over.
Something circling
and there's
like,
critters out there too running. And that's what you call them down home, folks. They were critters.
Varmints.
And then there's that Jeepers Creepers guy that comes out every couple of years.
Speaking of varmints, Paul Chomo's not with us, but we'd like to give a shout out to the Varmints podcast because it's a great podcast.
When's he going to do a Jeepers Creepers?
There you go, Paul.
Yeah.
When are you going to do a Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah, let you find a little kid talk about that. There's your fucking challenge.
Dustin Sekirkis joined us as well as my sister,
Dustin?
Mindy Youngren.
But
hi, sis.
Is your sister hot or does she look like you?
Yeah, she's very pretty. My sister's very pretty. She's wonderful. She has a great sense of humor like mine as well.
Sometimes the fruit falls far from the tree.
Her apple must have rolled a little.
I look like a catcher's mitt. She's lovely.
But
this is Christian, Mindy.
Hi. But going back a little bit, this Saturday.
Hey,
it's Dustin throwing out the shoot name. I'm Tom.
Yeah, there you go.
This Saturday I've got this show, and it actually is kind of cool for me personally because it marks 12 years to the day from my first match.
Wow.
Which is really, really strange.
And Tom has a reputation of being 50.
Yeah. I'm
right?
old man
Yeah,
Tom.
you look older than I am,
Yeah.
and I could probably be your dad.
And every time they call him that, I'm like, oh, you sons of bitches. And then I'll watch him on those goddamn stair machines, and he's like a machine. My goal is to finish second to Tom. If the zombie apocalypse ever hits, I don't have to climb the stairs faster than anybody.
Just faster. Yeah, just more. Yeah.
You know, I did a half hour the other day and hit 80 floors.
That's good.
Which is great, except I just finished watching Tom do an hour on there and 300 floors.
I did 200 in half an hour the last time.
What?
200 flights of stairs in 30 minutes.
No shit.
I sweat watching him.
Holy shit. How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
33.
You're 33.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I couldn't be your dad, but
You'd definitely be an older
pretty
brother.
fucking close. It's not far off. That's for sure.
I could.
You're younger than I am.
Oh, man.
Well, start early. I was much better looking than you.
Well, there you go. Who's fucking at 12? That guy.
And before we get to Tom's or Christian Rose's story, he is the world's biggest Jaws fan.
Okay.
Huge. Probably my favorite movie.
Oh, yeah? What's the name
ever.
of the nude chick in the beginning?
Oh, shit, I don't know.
Yeah, you're not the fucking biggest.
I know it like forwards and backwards. I've watched it so many times.
There's 10,000 fucking dorks out there right now.
Right
going,
now that
"You're
are
a
just so
fucking
mad at me.
Exactly.
So furious at me. I'm sorry.
I call her-
What is it?
A lady with the nice tits.
Oh,
Yeah,
you don't
that's
know. I thought you were trying to.
No, I didn't know.
When
I thought you were trying to like one up me.
I don't know anything.
I saw the first showing of Freddy vs. Jason, like the first time they showed it.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of that, there's a girl who strips down and runs naked.
Yeah.
And she's French, but that's besides the point. And she goes running in, and she got a standing ovation because it's like, yes, we're back to 70s slasher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay!
Needless
Hey, there's
gratuitous
tits, and look,
nudity
there's
and
a
violence.
knife, and look, there's everything.
It would have been great if she'd have turned around and had a bush like fucking Gene Wilder's head.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Like a true 70s bush.
Yeah.
Somebody fired the gardener.
Yeah. All right, Tom, top 70s bush with your first tale.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
Male or female?
You know, Tawny Katane, Witchboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met Fairuza Balk from
The Craft.
The Craft.
Yeah. What's her name again?
Fairuza Balk.
Fairuza Balk.
She was the skinhead chick in America History X.
Yeah, and she was the water boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Vicky Valancourt.
Yeah.
She showed me her boobies, and I like them too.
I would have liked her to show me her movies.
That one's underrated.
I like Adam Sandler movies. I'm
right up until he did
minority.
Jack and Jill. And
that
then
was just dog shit.
that was the
You know
worst.
who liked that? Foxy.
Really?
Because Al Pacino was in it. and
I
he-
mean, yeah.
Al Pacino was in Jack and
Yeah,
Jill.
it's
Yeah.
like the low
How
point
much
of
did
his
they?
career.
I was going to say, how much do they have to pay him to do that?
How far in tax debt are you, Al Pacino?
Where you have to
You're
be
that
in,
turd.
and Adam Sandler. You read the script,
How did
right?
Wesley-
You've seen the guy, right? Like, how did you stand there and go, that's
How
what
did-
I call funny?
How did Wesley Snipes not take that role?
Red Fox would have if he was alive.
Well, yeah.
Great
And
reference.
MC Hammer.
Can a man relax?
Can a man relax? Greatest story ever. God. Have you heard that story?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Okay. So, all right, man, line us up. What do you got? Besides male pattern baldness, what do you got?
Oh,
That's-
dude, it's
oh,
bad.
I'm just
bro.
kidding.
It's
I'm
going,
just
it's going.
fucking.
Hey, you're not fucking bald yet.
Not yet. Okay, so me and Jay were talking about it whenever we were discussing having me on here, and there was two stories in particular in the decade plus of the wide world of independent wrestling that kind of stand out or whatever. And one of them, now you had to have been there for this.
I was.
one. Okay. One of them. So
We gave you a standing ovation.
yeah. So a little bit of context here. I'd been wrestling for Dreamwave here out of LaSalle for.
And
at this
again,
point,
he is a proper bad guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the bad guy.
I'd been here for about it would have been May or June, I think. Of
It was like your
2012.
fifth show.
Yeah, so I'd been here for like 5, maybe 6 shows. So I'm still like new. I'm still like meeting everybody, but
Yeah.
like I'm doing well. I'm doing good business, and they knew that I had the gift of gab. And they're like, all right, well, just give Rose a microphone and let him go cut a promo. And for the first few shows, I didn't even know they would do this. So I'd be like right behind the curtain, music's playing. I'm getting psyched. I'm getting ready to go out, and somebody would just be like, hey, and hand me a microphone. I'm like, huh? They're like, you got to cut a promo, and I'd be like, about what? And they're like, doesn't matter, just make people mad. I'm like,
okay,
and then out I
let's
go,
just
right?
go piss
Okay,
people
cool.
off.
So this was for correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Celebrate LaSalle? Because
Yeah,
it was
something like that, LaSalle
Yeah,
Fest.
it was,
LaSalle Fest
yeah,
or
it was
Thug
LaSalle
Festival, like
Fest,
what we
yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
So it was. This is an outdoor show, and
Yeah.
so
How many people are getting impregnated this weekend?
So
About 6 blocks away from this refined studio we're in.
yeah. So
and about 2 blocks is from the housing, so a lot of impregnation's going to happen.
And 2 blocks away from Shisha's house, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely,
Big thing.
absolutely.
So I get to the show, and I was having a match that night with a guy by the name of Dan the Man. Great dude.
Superhero.
Just superhero gimmick. And I was like, okay, cool. I like Dan. This was going to be cool, slick, easy match.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get just wrecked tonight because I believe, if I remember correctly, I had made plans to stay in town because I didn't live here at the time.
Triple
And I was
shot
like,
weekend.
Triple shot weekend. I was like, I'm going to
Oh,
be here all
yeah.
weekend.
There you go.
I'm on like middle of the show. This match is going to be fun. It'll be easy. I'm just going to get shithoused. So if you can imagine,
That's every indie wrestler's goal, pretty
ever.
much.
Exactly.
That's why we do it.
Everyone not
Well,
named Casey.
I remember somebody telling me that Brubaker pissed on the pool table.
not him. That
Okay.
was a different performer.
Okay.
We will not.
We will not say who.
We're not going to sully.
So
Brubaker
that
with
was not Brubaker.
No,
that
it was
incident
not.
did happen, just not with Brew.
Okay.
And okay, so anyway, so the match is all figured out and everything, and because it's an outdoor show, we don't have an actual locker room.
Right.
So, but we had like a big nice. It was
You made an entrance, so you walked a ways away because I had to measure out how far the wireless would work.
So we had this like big.
You got like a rib sandwich and walked over.
Yeah, we had this like big tent that we were using as the locker room, and so anyways, I'm about like one match ahead or whatever, and they go, "Oh, hey, we need you to cut a promo tonight." I'm like, about what, man?
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, "Oh, just whatever you want. Just make people
off.
mad." I'm like, "All right, fine." So I'd forgotten about making that entrance actually. Yeah. So like I sauntered off into the crowd or something, and I end up making this
Filth King.
That's Brubaker.
Okay.
That's Brubaker. Wasn't him. It makes sense, I guess, but no, it wasn't him.
But the guy who did do it, again, one of the nicest guys in wrestling.
Pissed on John's pool table.
Straight up, one of the best dudes
Allegedly.
I ever met. Allegedly. But for sure, one of the best dudes I've ever met. But allegedly pissed on a table.
Yeah. Once ran for the mayor of LaSalle.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice.
Suffered a crushing defeat, I believe.
Yes.
But one of my things that I always do with promos is I always sort of have like that one line that I keep going back to. And for whatever reason that night I just decided it's going to be, I'm not happy. So I'm like walking to the ring and I'm cutting this promo and I'm like, I'm not happy that I have to be outside in this, bullshit heat or whatever, and I'm not happy that I got to perform in front of you idiots and blah, blah. And I get in the ring and I'm like mid-word and all of a sudden the mic just cuts out. It just stops. Yeah. And for whatever reason, and I don't know why, but for whatever reason, that just made me so furious.
Yeah.
So like I turn and I look at the sound table, and there was
would be me.
There was him, and I remember
Durley.
There was some
Durley.
Oh, Durley.
Durley was on here. He's a previous guest.
Okay. Durley's a previous guest. Love Durley.
So there's you, there's Durley, and there was a wrestler sitting there, and I don't know if he was actually like just ringing the bell or what, but a guy by the name of Chris Castro, nice dude. And
I think he was just hanging out.
He may have just been, but I'm like standing there and I'm looking at the sound guys and I'm like, what is going on here?
Right.
What the fuck? And I remember I saw Castro and he just goes, gives me that I don't know thing, and I'm like, what is going on? Why is this microphone cut?
You
blah,
say
blah.
Fuck.
Okay, what the fuck is going on?
No, not like that.
You can't say it in that dream way. But
Whoa, no, not like that. That's
so I'm just in the ring and I've got this dead microphone and I'm just in a state, right? I'm just angry. And finally, somebody relayed the message to Castro. Castro comes up to the ring and pulls me in or whatever, and I lean down and he goes, "There's a woman at the back of the crowd that's going into labor. That's why they killed your mic." And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!" So I look out and we had a really big crowd there that night. That place
probably
was
500 people.
Yeah,
oh really?
Yeah, funny thing. What was the big band that played forever around the area?
Cheese Pizza?
No.
Arms Wide Open?
No.
Say Uncle?
They were older ones. Sabatini was in it. No. They had the brilliant idea that year to have them play at the same time anyways.
Oh, is that right?
And there were 3 people standing in front of... I have a picture somewhere. 3 people standing in front of them and us just packed to the gills.
Oh, is that right? Nice.
I do remember we had at least 500 people gathered around that ring outside.
Beat Nick Nolte?
Huge.
Punch Fatty?
No, but Beat Nick Nolte's a great name.
Yeah, they are.
All right, so anywho.
Okay, that's actually real clever. I'm putting that in the back
I just give
pocket.
a lot of shout-outs to a lot of bands that's local around here.
So anyway, so now I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Just us?
Just us?
No.
Okay. So anyways, I turn and I look, and sure enough, at the back of this mass of humanity, I can vaguely see this woman. She's a ways out, so I can't I wouldn't recognize her or anything.
Okay.
And there's an ambulance pulling in because someone
is your child.
No, it absolutely was not. There's an ambulance pulling in. It's backing up. And somebody, you might be able to help me out on this, because I do remember specifically somebody announced over the speaker, "Hey folks, we've got a woman going into labor. Please make room." Was it Durley?
Okay, sure it was Durley.
Okay. So I'm just standing in the ring, and now I'm just seething because in my mind I look like the biggest jackass ever.
Right.
To have this kind of badass entrance through the crowd, and I'm cutting everyone down, and then they just cut my mic.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, it's 105 in the shade, and this woman's about to pop and decides, you know what, I'm going to go watch wrestling. And I'm just standing there this is...
Why on God's green earth are you watching wrestling?
Yeah, why are you not at a hospital already? Why are you not waiting to give birth to this child? And so, anyways...
I think we'll squeeze in a show before we go.
Right, yeah, exactly. So finally, they're unloading the gurney thing or whatever to get her loaded up into it.
Stretcher,
yeah, that's it. Gurney's for the dead, right?
The gurney thing.
Yeah.
For the proper nomenclature for the gurney is
The gurney is for the bodies.
The people stretcher thing.
Yeah, deal with the wheels. So anyways, so at this point, I'm just like, all right, she's almost out of here. Fuck this. So I'm like yelling at the sound table, probably unfairly. Turn it on! Turn my mic back on! I'm like grabbing Castro by his hair at the side of the ring, who's not done anything, by the way. I'm just
it's not the first time that we've been yelled at.
My beautiful niece is with us. Hey, Megan.
Hello, Megan. You're just in time to hear the conclusion of this. But I'm like, tell them.
And Megan Sakurka.
Oh, nice. But I'm like, hello.
All the Megans.
All the Megans.
All the Megan.
All Megans, all night.
But I'm like, tell them to turn the microphone back on. So, like, finally, I don't know. Was it you? It was
Didn't
you.
have to tell us twice.
Yeah, it was somebody. Turn the microphone back on. So I just immediately...
They shut the doors and the mic's back on.
Right.
I mean, the ambulance hasn't pulled out of the
it's not even gone out of or into gear yet. And I just start screaming into this microphone about how that whole, like, I'm not happy thing. And I go, and I'm especially not happy about being interrupted by the arrival of another child from a broken home. Where's his father? Where's that kid's father? And just start, like, I'm, like, going off. I'm like, how dare you interrupt my promo, blah, blah, blah. How dare you? Like, I was like, and what's great is
you had been like the most hated guy.
They threw trash.
They
like,
threw
there
trash
were
at you.
throwing trash.
That's how you know it
like,
worked.
And so my favorite memory of this is like, God, I wish I had the footage because I don't remember.
Sarah Varner's with us. Your episode's coming up next, chick.
Remember, folks, fifth
showing. So keep in mind, like, I am not like established enough or whatever, blah blah blah. But my favorite memory of this is like, I'm just lighting homegirl up, and finally I stop my tirade against her. People are booing, they're like throwing shit, they're giving me the finger, and I turn around and I see Jay Repsol, who is the owner of the company. And a wrestler by the name of Vic Capri, who's like one of the most well-respected veterans in the area.
Right. Really, one of the coolest moves ever, because that ice pick, I've seen it 100 times, and I'm still not real sure how that works.
It's amazing. But I'm like turning, and I'm trying to like stay in character, and it's like, oh, and I'm like kind of coming down or whatever, and I see... slightly visual joke, I guess, but like as I'm turning, I see both Jay and Vic standing outside of the locker room tent thing, and they both have their hands on the sides of their heads, and they're just shaking back and forth like, oh my God, and I'm in the ring, and said out loud to no one but myself, damn it, I'm getting fired. So
you just knocked a local chick that was like
just
going into labor.
A woman who's going into labor. And so, like,
I hope that lady named her child Christian.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
and so, what's great though, it's like there's so many little
or
things
cocksucker after the guy in the ring.
So then Dan the Man, who is already like beloved and over, comes out to like this roar of approval from the crowd.
Right.
They just want to see somebody kick my ass.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is we built the whole match already. We had it like kind of laid out about me breaking his damn hand.
Yeah.
So like I did this like cool finger snap thing, and it's really
cool.
ugly, and like so like. For the fans, it's like the most downer thing ever, because like I cut them down, I rip on this woman going into labor, and then I take this guy who's like a beloved superhero, beat his ass, and break his damn hand. And so I leave. Like people were like pissed.
You hear gunshots whizzing by your head.
I have a great Dan DeMann story, and I cannot tell it on here due to a word that Marche Rocket came up with.
Oh,
well, he didn't come up with it.
No. But so like I go to the back, and as soon as the match is over, I roll out of the ring, and I'm like kind of going to the back, and I've got my head down. It's like, oh damn it, well. At least the match was good.
We are standing at attention, clapping. Durley went immediately and bought a T-shirt.
Yeah, like
I have one as well. We both bought Christian Rose T-shirts at that moment.
I go into the locker tent thing or whatever, and Jay's
I would like to buy a Christian Rose T-shirt.
You sure can at ProWrestlingTees.com.
Hey!
Check that shit out. I get a check from him every time I sell something. But I go up to Jay in the locker room tent thing, and I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. And he just looks at me and goes, man, that was awesome. And I was like, oh, sweet. And I'm like, so I'm not getting fired? He's like, no.
The voters hate controversy.
It's like, do it all the time.
They really hate controversy.
Guess he's going to be champion.
Exactly. Who's the next big guy?
Dude, that was like one of the tipping points, I think, early on for me to be like, oh, we're going all in on the Christian Rose thing.
At one point, Tom had turned face for about 6 shows. Quite possibly 6 of the most uncomfortable shows I've ever seen him at. Because you do not, and I know you turn face every once in a while. Everybody does in some promotions more than others. Well, it was weird because I've had this conversation with Vic.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, he goes, I'm a face champion in one of the shows.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really?
What's a face champion?
Where he's a good guy.
Good guy. Good guy is a baby face or face. Yeah.
Oh,
Bad-
okay.
Yeah. Bad guys.
We're learning lingos, kids.
Yeah.
And Vic is Vic's a really good heel as well.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Vic's great. As a
So here's the thing that I noticed when you came down. You're this massive guy. You're this big guy. You're much bigger than I am. Okay. And I reach out and I shake your hand and you give me a soft shake, which normally would make me puke. But apparently, because I learned this from other wrestlers, because the Honky Tonk Man came by me one time.
Yep.
Highlight of my life. And I reached out my hand and I grabbed this massive guy's hand and I give him a squeeze and he handed me a dead fish.
Yeah.
And apparently, like in the wrestling community, if you shake soft, it means that you guys are going to go easy on each other. If they shake you hard, it means that you're in for a rough fucking night.
Basically, yeah. Some of the guys that trained me were like really, God, I hate this phrase. They were really old school. And that was one of the first things they taught me was that, like, when you shake somebody's hand, you want to be light. And that tells them, like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. He's not reckless. He's going to be safe. He's not going to hurt me, whatever.
Right.
And then if you have like a real solid hard handshake, you're telling guys, hey man, I hit really hard, I do shit, like I'm gonna drive you into the ring. And
do you call that the Big Van Vader?
Yeah. And fun fact, I've been in the ring with Big Van Vader.
Have you really?
I really have. I was in a 6-man tag against Big Van Vader. I got pinned by him.
Oh no shit!
Got squashed with the Vader bomb. Yep.
I got to see the Bushwhackers naked.
So.
I'm
not trying to. I'm not going to.
Funny thing, they hit each other in the ring, there is such a slap.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a pop,
dude,
that you hear.
I think that wrestling is one of the most misunderstood forms of art.
Yeah.
On the planet, because like. It's weird to me that there's still this like conception that if you're a professional wrestler and you're not in the WWE, well then you're a nobody. And I'm like, well, if you're in a band,
tell that to Joey Ryan.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Who like, just bought a $500,000 house?
I absolutely like
hashtag ESPN.
Hashtag ESPN.
Yeah.
I absolutely like don't share that, but I mean like casual fans or whatever, like they really feel that way. But I'm like, well, if you're in a band and you're not headlining.
You're not
a huge stadium.
You're
or something.
You're not opening for Queensryche.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I bet you could now.
You could. Well, you could open for Jeff Tate.
Yeah. Or the other guys of Queensryche who nobody really wants to see anymore because Jeff Tate's not with them.
Chris DeGarmo.
But like. Yeah, like I love wrestling. I always say it's the best job I've ever had.
Whenever someone tells me,
it always looks like the funnest, and I always wanted to get into it, but I never was. I was always too busy, like way too busy to get into it.
Yeah, dude, it takes a lot.
Whenever people tell me it's fake, I'm like, it may be. I go, but I want you to climb up on a ladder,
jump
off of it,
or even from the top turnbuckle,
land on someone, and not hurt them,
not hurt them, and not hurt you. Exactly.
One of my favorite responses to the whole like, oh, it's fake thing was always you can't fake gravity.
Because, you can't fake gravity. Ryan Korn's with us. He's a big wrestling fan as well.
But you do every once in a while. You'll see.
This is Christian Rose, champion of the
01 USA.
Champion of the 01 USA.
You will see like something horrific. Everyone.
Once in a while you see something like
Dan the man got hurt real bad.
Cracked the skull. The Bearded Bullies.
Yep.
The one did a flip and hit his leg on.
Chappie says
the Hoolies. Yeah.
Chappie says it's never too late to get body slammed.
No,
that's a fucking lie. I'm 50. It's way too fucking late.
Hey, Ric Flair was body slammed at 50.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm not Ric Flair.
By one of his ex-wives.
Yeah, I don't live in the gym. I live next I live next to pizza.
Well, I'll let you two talk amongst yourself as I get Christian Rose another.
You're a saint.
Grab me one too.
You are a saint.
Or as well. Oh, mine's. I got one in there. It's on the second shelf.
I know.
Oh man, I'm so glad I got to tell the Rose cuts a promo on a woman in labor.
Your side of it
from my perspective. Yeah. Which, having said that, a lot of it, even looking back on it, I was like, I don't know what set me off about it.
That was a great story. Mad. Well, it was hot, and.
I hate wrestling outdoors.
You're a dick.
I hate it.
I think you brought it home with it. I think that was fantastic. That's what every fan wants. He wants As a fan, you want the real fucking dirtbag out there. You want the guy who's hit bottom and started to dig. I mean,
every time I think I've hit the edge,
it's like, like when you like everybody else is like, whoa, that's low, and then you start fucking digging,
And then you start bagging on a pregnant woman.
You bag on a pregnant woman. I love that. Ooh, I got new glares.
J Roach, were you there the night that my head got sliced
new
open on that table?
Represent.
I believe I was.
That's a decent one. Nobody's going to be able to see it because it's a visual thing.
It's covered by your thick head of hair.
What did you
covered
do?
by my luscious head of hair. I've got this scar up here on the top of my forehead.
I see it.
So once upon a time, me and Drew Baker, this one is not his fault, but it does actually involve him. Gesundheit, by the way.
Thank you.
Long story short, he's going to give me a DDT from the apron onto this announcer's table.
Oh, no shit.
I thought this was totally my idea. Nick was down for it, but it was 100% my idea. And so he hooks me for it, and we're in the match, and everything's cool. We had a packed house that night. It was me, him, and Jason Hades in a triple threat. And I remember he lifts me up, and I thought midair, oh man, I'm going to make this look good. So I just, no hands, just dove.
Yeah.
And the table, it wasn't like a wooden one. It was
with
what
a
would you call it?
metal.
Almost like a tile. Or
Tile?
No, those hard ones.
Like what? Ceramic?
They're super heavy.
Super
Folks,
heavy.
You may not know this, but when you see a guy go through a chair, a lot of times they have been doctored.
Yeah, this one was not.
What?
You know what? Because they don't give that easy.
No. And
Even when they are doctored, they don't give that easy.
And when a guy hits a table and it doesn't break, it's 100 times worse. 100 times worse. So I basically lawn dart myself into this table, and there's this huge pop from the crowd. Now,
What's up, C?
What's going on, buddy?
Adam Mize joined us. Adam, I love you. You're still going to come on here, fucker.
Hi, Adam. So everything from this point is from my perspective, because when I hit that table with my head, I got a concussion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was completely concussed. I've had a couple of them.
Dustin said so much blood.
Oh, yeah.
So worried.
Easily the most I've ever bled in my life.
Legit worried is what he says.
Yeah. So I hit, and I popped my head up, and I saw it just made a hole in the table. It didn't even break. It was like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon.
Yeah. No
just a fucking hole where my face had gone through it. And I popped my head up, and my first thought was, wow, that's kind of cool. Because I was, my brain's still, bouncing around in my skull. So the referee for
that had to hit really hard for that to happen.
It was bad.
Wow.
So the referee for this match was actually J.C. Castillo, or Josh Castillo. Great dude. Wish I could see him every so often still. But he slides down the ring.
weekend.
He wishes he could see you,
okay.
too. He
No,
remembers
sure
the
he
moonlight
does.
walks. And how you held his hand so tight.
So,
Summer loving had you a blast. I'm sorry,
so I pop my head up. I see this hole. I'm like, wow, that's neat. And then all I saw was just red.
Yeah.
And I'm just laying there kind of on my stomach with my head up. And I see red, and I hear the crowd, especially on that one side of the ring, just go, oh! And I'm like, huh? Josh slides out of the ring, comes up to me. I'll never forget it. Even with the concussions, he just looks straight up at me and dead in the eyes and just goes, dude, you are fucked up. And I'm like, I feel all right. And he's like, no. And so one of the guys on commentary, Derek St. Holmes, another great dude, just gets on the mic and just starts screaming, we need a towel, we need a towel. So here's the thing.
We're a family-friendly show, mind you.
We are a family-friendly show.
We don't bleed.
I now have this axe wound in my head.
Right.
Because that scar goes up into what's left of my hair, believe it or not.
Oh, my gosh.
So, anyways, what was supposed to happen was I was supposed to take the deal onto the table, and security guys were going to carry me out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the match, the finish happens with the two guys that are still left in the ring. So, what I thought happened at this point, this was my understanding of it. Security guys come to get me because not only is this the finish of the match, but they are 100% worried about me because I'm spraying blood out of my head. It looks
you're fucked up.
Like Kill Bill Volume 1.
And it sounds like they're yelling, don't bleed on the equipment.
Yeah. So they
oh, Stephen Patrick.
Oh, hi Steve.
Hey, Steve. Oh, Steve, how you doing, man?
So security guys are carrying me out, and so my perspective of what happened
Love you,
was
sis.
that I valiantly fought away the security guys and ran back to the ring and slid in just in time for me to miss the 3 count and essentially not win the match, not win the championship, whatever. What really happened was they're trying to fight me to get me to the back so I can get this gargantuan wound on my head taken care of. And I elbowed and backfisted these poor students or whatever that were just doing their job.
These stooges.
And then shambled my way to the ring. Like, I had fans message me and say that blood splattered off the floor onto their shoes.
Oh,
it was so
no.
much blood. So I shambled back to the ring and just kind of flop in like a fish because I'm fucked up. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Brand new canvas, by the way. That was the first night we had that canvas in the ring.
Yeah.
And I'm just spraying blood on it into the ring, and it's like the worst possible ending because, like, I think that was, I want to say, like, Hades won the belt, so it should have been like his great moment. Instead, I'm like laying there, like dying in front of everyone. Everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
He's like,
and I'm
he's
sure-
holding the belt. Yeah,
I am positive.
You know what? You know, what I would have done is I would have went and put my foot on your back.
Dude,
I am positive at the pre-show meeting. The line was uttered. Try not to bleed on the mat for a while.
I'm 100% positive it was because
Yeah.
like then people were like giving me shit about it once they found out I was okay. So
Good
like,
news, my sister thinks you're hot.
Hey, you know what? Blood does not come out of a ring.
No, it doesn't.
Blood
That was
does not
it was,
come out of
dude.
ring.
That was literally there
Yeah.
for like until I think until the company
did
closed.
you try OxyClean?
If you would like to clone a Christian Rose, there's a man out there.
All you got to do is find it. There's plenty of
Exactly.
blood soaked into it.
There's so much DNA.
There's homeless guys sleeping on it somewhere.
They end up taking me downstairs. And keep in mind, guys, I'm like severely concussed at this point, so I don't know how bad my head is or anything.
Right.
I just know I'm bleeding.
It was bad.
It was awful. So they take me downstairs. I was totally irrational about it. And we just by luck had a guy on the show that night. I don't know if he was there before or after. Something Horner was his name. He was
Write
an
this
EMT.
down. Don't bleed on the mat.
We had a guy there that was an EMT. I get downstairs, people are like freaking out. They're like, "Tom, your face, your head, and everything."
Dude,
blah, blah,
you're
blah.
fucked up.
They take me to this back room that had a sink. They're like washing it, and I was like, "Guys, I'm fine." They're like, "You are not."
No, you are not
One of my
fine.
One of my friends took a picture of the wound and then showed it to me, and I just
Yeah.
go, "Oh,
Oh,
it's pretty bad." And he's
I'm
like,
real
"Yeah."
bad.
So the guy comes up to me. He's like, "All right, here's your options. We can either take you to the hospital and get you stitched up." And I go, "I don't have insurance. That's going to cost me like $12,000
Exactly,
or something
yeah.
insane." And he goes, "I've got."
or
like,
we got some Scotch tape and some super glue.
Hey, you joke.
No,
You joke,
I
my
did
man.
not.
No, that was
You
Did
joke,
I
my
just
man.
step on the punchline?
Guaranteed super glue.
Option number 2 was he's like, I've got a couple of butterfly bandages, but I don't have enough to really hold it together. And I was like, anything else? And he's like, we can super glue it.
Yeah.
And I said, do that. So we literally sent, it was Carrie. We sent Carrie to a Walgreens or Walgreens or something.
Dollar General.
Dollar General maybe, and she come back with. And
You
the whole time,
had, you
and the
had
whole
Dollar
time,
General surgery.
and the whole
Write
time
that
I'm
down,
just
too.
sitting. I'm just.
Dollar General surgery.
The whole time I'm just sitting in this back room with my face over this sink, just bleeding.
Yeah.
And this girl that I was not seeing, by the way, is standing there, and she's trying to complain to me about locking her keys in her car. And at one point, I just go, "Look, I understand that
You
you're
really
in a bad
gotta
spot
shut
right
the
now."
fuck up, cunt.
I was like-
I'm not doing well.
I'm like sitting there, I've got the water running over my face, and it's all
You gotta
pink, and I'm
love
like,
the woe is me.
So how many
as
seconds-
you're standing over a guy with half his fucking
Now,
head
if
fillet.
I understand independent wrestling properly,
Yeah.
how long were you down in the basement before you were offered a beer?
Like right off the bat.
shockingly, I think I actually had one in my hand while they were gluing me shut.
I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I would be more shocked if you did not have one
In your hand while they were gluing you shut.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
so
There was a
Yeah.
wrestler there.
Hey, do we got a doctor in the house? No, we got Bill.
And he
Hey,
wa-
Bill, can you put some super glue on his head?
We had a wrestler there, and I'm not going to name a name, and you'll know exactly what I'm saying. He was a mid-card. Every once in a while, he'd pop up top of the card.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And before he hit the ring, I bet he had a case of beer in him.
Really?
Exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
it's hard to
was
nail
he,
down.
Was he Wobbles the Clown?
No,
okay.
no, he was part of the Peoria faction.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, and part of his gimmick was
He was
Drinking
drunk.
beer, yeah. He'd
Drinking
come
beer?
come to the
Yeah.
ring with beer. have
and you
beer
know
with
what? And
his
he would do.
So he
just-
was a Sandman, was he?
he
Or-
a little bit, yeah.
He would do just shit crazy. He would do that.
He's great.
He would do that fucking the thing Eddie Guerrero would do, but he'd do it off like the second rope,
Oh, the
brainbuster.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he'd do a brainbuster off
Yeah.
the second
Off
rope
the second rope?
Yep.
and not kill people.
And not kill people. I know exactly who you're talking about. This guy.
Like, who's going to let him do it? Like,
My
okay,
favorite-
I'm in. You know, like...
This guy would do the Death Valley Driver, but into the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
And just run with a guy and just dump him into the turnbuckles.
Oh my gosh.
And I took it, and every time it was great because like mid-run, I knew I was going to be okay, but every time as he's running, I'm like right in his ear just going, please don't kill me on this.
So if you ever see wrestlers talking to each other's ears,
that's a lot of
they're saying things like, please do not kill me.
Yeah, folks, when you're watching wrestling, if you watch them because they're talking to each other the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And it might be nonsensical stuff. Where it's not about the match.
I like pigeons.
I've had so many exchanges with guys in ring where it's like I'm just trying to get them to break, just trying, or it's
trying to get them to laugh.
And like sometimes it's a full-fledged conversation while shit is happening.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
people are running, ducking, blah blah blah, and sometimes it's just something real fast where it's just like
I fucked a penguin.
Sometimes it's just stuff that's real fast where it's just like duck one, you know the drill, like.
It was definitely, for me, it was
awesome.
an eye-opening experience. I can't imagine.
That's
In 12
awesome.
years, I'm pretty sure you're to the point where you think you've almost seen it all.
Man, every time I think that I have, something else happens, though, man. Like,
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, anytime you introduce a bunch of people, no matter what it is, no matter if it's wrestling or hockey or football or whatever, but once you introduce a bunch of people, there's always just an unlimited amount of stories.
yeah.
Just like what we do here. Like we bring people in to tell us stories. It's limitless. It's absolutely limitless, and everybody is so fucking different. Everybody thinks there's a normal. There ain't no fucking normal.
I think
everybody's fucked up and weird. So there's always something great that you can get, that you can extract from somebody.
I think that at the core level of it, that's the thing about wrestling that always appealed to me, even as a
kid, everybody's eccentric at that point anyway. You know they're performers. There's somebody that wants to perform. There's somebody that wants to be on stage, wants to be heard, wants to be loud.
And like, I think that the story aspect of it is what always got to me, because I literally used to have people ask me like, well, why don't you do like MMA or boxing or real fighting? I was like, because I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, to me, what's great about wrestling is that like nobody thinks that wrestling is real anymore. I'm sorry, spoiler guys, it's not. But to me, I was always like, this is what I teach my students because I train kids. I'm like, it's not a fight. It's a story of a fight.
The logistics of it is.
Oh yeah.
The logistics of it's 100% real.
Yeah.
So it's fun, and you're telling a story, and it's like a soap opera, man. I mean,
100%.
why do people turn into Days of Our Lives every fucking day?
Well, now imagine if they were punching each other in the face.
Now this is guys soap opera.
Yeah, and me and Tom agree, because we've had this discussion a couple times. We don't like the guy. Well, I mean, Tom, it's different. I mean, to watch it aesthetically, I don't find it pleasing when you see guys. They get in the ring, they do a little boogaloo.
Here, let me say it again, Jay.
A little boogaloo.
There you go. All right. So somebody had, for some reason, we had to have boogaloo.
And then they do 57 finishing moves between the two guys. And how do you finish that?
I don't know. Hey, Jessica Hoon Eckerd's with us. She's asking, why did I just get the notification? I don't know.
Because your internet sucks.
Your internet sucks.
It
must be.
I even gave like a 5-minute buffer. I was like, hey, going live in like 5 minutes.
It must be, Jessica, because we haven't gotten your new episode yet.
You know what? Let's bring her in.
You got it.
Let's see. Bring Jessica on camera.
But I like the guys who tell a story.
Yeah.
I like
100%. Oh, I can't bring Jessica on camera. See, Jessica, that's your problem. Quit going to Crazy Eddie's discount internet. That's your issue.
I'm trying. Let's see.
Hey, he got a promo on a pregnant woman.
Ed, let's see.
No.
I'll cut a promo on Crazy Eddie and his discount internet.
Adding. Okay, we're adding Jessica here.
Crazy Eddie.
That's my favorite go-to for anything that's like rendered as cheap. It's always like Crazy Eddie's discount, whatever the hell.
Crazy Eddie's discount. Come on now. We're crazy here in Eddie's.
Is that where you went to get your tires that one trip?
Oh man, if that had been my car, those had been my tires, let me tell you a tale.
Was that a Casey Mobile?
No, that was Knight Wagner's car.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you guys talk because I am in a room next to my bathroom in my basement.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of the bathroom. And Sam, you're going to be really impressed because you might hear me pissing off camera.
Wow, but we're not going to win an Oscar.
We're not going to win an Oscar, and we're not going to be the next Maron, but I am going to pee into something. It doesn't look like Jessica's gonna join us.
Crazy Eddie's discount internet strikes again. Telling you, you got to invest. At least go to Sane
I was gonna bring you in, Chick.
At least go to Sane Eddie's well-priced internet.
Sane Eddie's well-priced internet. I just got my internet fixed today. So, all right. Hey,
okay,
you got the con.
Yep, I got this. Okay, so
finally a host I can stand.
Oh, hi, Mindy. So the story that is about to be told has been affectionately named the Hell Trip. I believe you were following along with it as it happened, weren't you?
I was reading your post where you got more and more disgusted.
Yeah. Okay. So
you Twittering it?
I was Twittering it. I was at one point. I even remember posting a Snapchat that was just a picture of my bloodshot eyes that just said, "You will not defeat me, life. I will win you." So I'm going to skip to the point of this where it gets like interesting because the whole weekend is just insane. This was the Karen Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett weekend.
Oh,
what? Karen and Jeff Jarrett and Double J. Woo!
Double J was great.
Yep.
Jim Cornelius was
Jim
great.
Jim Cornette was great.
Jim Cornette.
Karen
was Jeff Jarrett's wife.
Global Force wasted. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, vodka was not her friend.
Nothing was.
You know what? When you're wearing a skirt that is about 5 inches long, you should not sit spread-eagled on the floor in the Gorilla.
Probably shouldn't. No.
I enjoyed it, but
we are at this point starting the Hell Trip. We are wrapping up.
I gotta ask you before you go on.
No, go on.
What was Jeff Jarrett like?
Jeff was cool, man.
Yeah, Jeff was a really nice guy.
He really liked my stuff. I was on 2 shows in a row with him that weekend. Saturday at Dreamwave and then Sunday for IWA Mid-South.
JEFF?
And he came up to me after both of my matches and said he really liked my stuff. And then on night 2, he was like, beat the shit out of your opponent. And I was like, he's littler than me. And he just goes, I like it. And then walked away. He was cool.
Nice.
I got nothing bad to say about Jeff. Anyways.
Anyway, go on.
There was a whole bunch of drama involving Jeff and the promoter the last day of this whole weekend, but that's a separate issue. So anyways, headshots. Anyone seen the headshots? Says Dustin. I'm not sure. Which headshots? Anyways, so the car.
Damn it, Dustin, shut up. We're trying to do something here.
The carload for this trip. It was myself, Knight Wagner.
Knight Wagner has a great wrestling name.
He does. That's his real name.
It sounds like Night Ranger, except for it's Wagner.
Yeah.
I can see the hook.
It was myself, Knight Wagner, Matt Cage, who's one of my best friends and worst nightmares, and Malachi Matthews. All 4 of us.
Sister Muslim, oh, your night.
Nice to see Malachi has gotten off the Reed Bentley diet program.
Has he?
Yeah, he's lost some weight.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I bet he's lost probably 30 pounds.
Oh, that's actually good to hear. So we were in Knight's car. It was a little 2-door. I want to say it's a Cobalt or a Cavalier or something like that. A little 2-door Chevy.
A true wrestling wagon.
That's right.
There you go.
If you're gonna have 4 full-grown, bold.
If you're looking to make money in the wrestling industry,
it's the best thing next to a Yugo.
Yugo, great. Yes. So we were at the time.
Yeesh is watching us.
Hi.
Hey, sheesh.
At the time, we were all living in Davenport. So we are wrapping up this show in Louisville, Kentucky. And I know that sounds like a tremendous distance. It's only between, I want to say like 7 hours, I want to say, drive.
Is that right?
If you're an independent wrestler, that's only 7 hours.
Only 7 hours, yeah. But when we had left, Knight said, one of my tires has a slow leak on it. We just got to keep an eye on it. And I was like, no problem. So like once or twice, a slow leak in the tire.
That sounds good.
It's fine. So I think we aired it up like once, maybe twice or something. You know what I mean? Like we actually kept an eye on it.
It's nothing that's going to hinder the...
We're just going to put 500 miles on it this
exactly. It's got a slow leak, but we're going to drive 500 miles.
I got duct tape on it.
Exactly. That's not going
to way, by the way. 500 like each way.
It's not going to compromise the integrity. I'm
everything
perfectly
will be
positive.
Fine. Yeah. Everything will be fine.
Everything will be great.
So we leave Louisville, Kentucky. Everything's cool. We're talking about the insane events of the event, which is a whole separate chapter. We get about 45 minutes outside of Louisville, and boom, flat tire. And I was kind of like, well, guys, I was like, nobody is shocked at this. You know what I mean? I was like, let's just deal with it. So
tell me about the spare.
So we put the donut on.
Oh,
right?
you did have one.
We did.
Okay, so I thought I was going to step on that punchline.
Oh no! Oh no! We haven't even begun to suck. So we stop. At this point, the weather was totally fine. Put the spare on, and like you always have to mess with those shitty jacks that they like put in cars or whatever.
Those are the fucking worst.
They're just awful.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, we put the donut on. I was like, all right, guys. So like, obviously, we just have to like, take it slow going home.
Words of wisdom, folks. Always put a hydraulic jack in your car.
100%.
You can get one.
Cost you $50 and just put it in your fucking car.
Dirt cheap.
Totally
dirt cheap. You can get them cheaper than that if you look around.
Yeah.
Totally
There's what's the place here in town?
Big Lots.
Big Lots.
Yeah, there you go.
You can get one at Big Lots.
Yeah.
So we put
we
put the donut on. I was like, all right, guys, we're just going to take it slow. We're going to go home. Everything's going to be fine. No big deal. Everyone's kind of expecting this to happen anyways,
Right.
So away we go. We get just outside of Indianapolis. At this point, it is the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And we hit this pothole. Thanks, Indiana. We hit this pothole big enough to hide a fucking body in. And like
or burst a tire.
Or burst a tire. And wouldn't you know it bursts a tire. And I mean like explodes it.
Really?
Yeah. So we limp over to the side of the road.
Was this the donut or was this
this was not the donut. The donut
so
somehow survived.
So this is the tire proper.
Correct.
The
tire proper. So we limp over to the side of the road. I want to say it's about 3:00 in the morning because like the show that we left always ran late. Whatever. It's about 3:00 in the morning. We're just like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like we're stranded outside of town.
Right.
So we put the car up on the jack again. Take the busted tire off, and I'm like, okay. None of us have any money.
Well, what are you gonna do?
None of us have any money because we're independent wrestlers.
Well, if you pool all your money from IWA South, I'm sure that you could buy.
They could have brought a Big Mac.
Oh yeah. So
I'm thinking the dollar menu at McDonald's is pretty hot. Exactly.
Well, IWA South, we do everything but pay.
Yeah, pretty much. So like we're stranded at the side of this interstate, and so like we're reaching out to friends, we're trying to find something, blah blah blah. And a carload that was actually coming back from northern Indiana featuring now current WWE superstar Ruby Riott, who's a good friend. They were like, hey, we're actually on the same interstate coming south. You guys were going north. Do you need help? And we're like, 100%.
We certainly do need some help.
We're all on our phones trying to figure out a plan. And I'm like, okay, guys, there's a Walmart. It's just a couple miles from here. Me and Knight will take this tire to Walmart. We'll buy a new tire.
Yeah.
You guys stay here and watch the car. We'll come back, put it on, get the hell home.
Right.
And they're like, okay, cool. So we, in essence, wait until they came and picked us up, which, by the way, is like the most kind gesture ever. Mm-hmm. They pick us up. We go to Walmart. We get to Walmart. It is now 6:50. So we have spent approximately 3 hours plus stranded in this two-door Chevy at the side of the interstate.
Outside of Indianapolis.
Outside of Indianapolis. So we get to this Walmart.
Go Colts.
Go Colts. It is 6:50. I get to I'm carrying this stupid goddamn wheel, by the way, under my arm. We get to the automotive department. There's a guy standing there, and I go, hey, man, can you help? I really hope you can help us out. We need a tire for this. We need just something that's going to hold air and get us home. And he looks at me, and he goes, oh, we don't open until 7. And I go, you're here.
You're here.
It's 6:50.
I'm looking at you.
I'm like, this is kind of an emergency.
Empirically, I can prove your existence.
Right.
I can see you.
It wasn't even like he was in the toy department. He was behind the counter.
If I reached out, I could lick you and taste you. I know empirically you exist.
So I'm like, I was just like, for real? And he's like, yeah, man, we don't open until 7. I was like, fine, fuck it, cool, sounds great. So I sat there and stood and waited until 7. And I go, now, sell us.
Would you give me a fucking tire?
They grab the wheel. And then they want to know what the story is. I'm like, the story don't matter. Just give me a tire.
There's a big hole in this fucking tire, and I need a new one.
Give me the mic. I'll do it promo style.
They drag it back to the shop, and 20 seconds later come back out and they go, hey, we can't put a tire on this rim for you. And I was like, why? And they go, there's a bend in the rim, and we're not allowed to legally. And I go, where? And they show me, and I go, so if this wasn't bent, you could put a tire on there? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, and you're not allowed to fix it? And they're like, well, no, we're not. And I go, do you have a hammer? And the guy looks at me, he's like, I mean, yeah, I guess. I go, bring it to me. So now, at 7:05, I'm in front of the counter at this Walmart automotive department, beating the Christ out of this rim until I get it. Probably, honestly, I'm patting myself on the back here, better than it was from the manufacturer. Because if there's anything I can do, it's create a perfect circle.
Hey, there you go.
So
Maynard, shout out. Hey, Maynard.
So
perfect circle.
Yeah, no, it's a great band.
Okay.
I love it. All right. So I plop it.
As a boner.
I plop it back up on the desk and I go, "What about now?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, we can probably do that." Just eyeballing it. I'm like, "You're just being a dick."
Yeah.
So the dude, like, and keep in mind, the car that brought us there is now like they're like, "Hey, we're gonna be late for our jobs. We have to get you out of here,
Right?
Or else we don't have a way to get back to the car with the damn wheel."
Right.
So they put a tire on it. We spend the money. We leave. We're going southbound on the interstate. They have to drop us off, and we have to run now across 8 lanes of morning Indianapolis traffic to get to the car, and
it's like Frogger.
And it is now pouring rain.
Oh.
We get back to the car.
At least it ain't raining.
we get back to the car. Knight goes to work putting the wheel back on the car while it's still up on the jack. Cage and Malachi are still in the car. I am standing outside of the car attempting to, like, flag traffic to, like, let them know to, like, hey, move around and let us know.
Right.
What I was later informed of, and it's one of my favorite things that Malachi ever said, was he's in the car, looks out the window with Cage at me just, like, screaming and pointing at traffic or whatever in this thunderstorm. And he just goes, "Well, Tom's finally lost it." So we get the shit done. We get back in the car. We get back on the interstate. Did Jay just say Dustin has a boner? Yeah. We get the wheel back in the car. We get back on the interstate. I am, like, soaked. Like my shoes are squishing.
Right.
Like everything sucks.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let's just get back to Davenport. We get to we get into Illinois. We're just outside of Peoria. We have now switched drivers. Malachi is driving. And he goes, "Guys, I'm not trying to be funny, but I feel like the car's wobbling a little bit. I feel like one of the tires is fucked up." And I'm like, No. We have one that's brand new. The other one's a damn donut. No. A third tire pops.
No.
Swear to God.
Thrice.
You got a hat trick on tires.
Well, sure did.
And Knight Wagner's going, "Yes, I'm getting new tires."
But he wasn't, because he had less money than all of us, which is really saying something. So this is just outside of Peoria. We called a friend, and he was on his way to pick us up. Meanwhile, the tire shop, that's where I took that picture of my bloodshot eyes just saying, "You will not defeat me, life. I will win you."
I will win.
They actually got it fixed.
And life said, "Watch this."
Yeah, basically. So we ended up getting another tire. Our one friend came and picked us up. Me and Cage were like, "We're heading back with them. We're not getting back in that goddamn car ever again." But the best part is we were waiting on a tow truck to come get us, to take us to that tire shop at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're just like, we don't care. We just want to get home. Cage goes walking about, I'm going to say, 1/8 of a mile up the interstate to get to a rest stop, to use the bathroom, get a candy bar or whatever. Comes walking back. Me and him are going to ride in the car on the tow truck because there's no room to get us all back to the shop or whatever. And he comes walking back from the rest stop, and he just has this, like, haunted look in his face. And I'm like, "Hey, man, I know, like, everything has gone tits up on this whole trip, but, like, are you okay?" And he just looks at me and he goes, "I was coming back from the rest stop, and people drove past on the interstate, and they threw trash at me."
Did he cut a promo on a pregnant woman?
No. I lost my fucking mind. Like, I could not stop laughing. So then me and him are sitting.
Did he stand there with a tear trickling down his
That's
cheek?
exactly what I was picturing. I was picturing a combination of just some random car just sees this guy walking up the side of the interstate and throws trash at him. And what's great is, like, I always pictured this combination of.
You had such a bad night anyway.
This is the next day. At this point, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever. So, like, I always pictured a combination of the crying Indian And if anyone here is a Simpsons fan, when Homer escapes New York and someone throws a bag of medical waste onto him because he's driving his car with no windshield, and there's just filth and needles or whatever all over his face, I always pictured that. And what's great is he goes to tell me about it. I go, no, I don't. I to this day don't know the details of it. I only know that people threw trash at him because I don't want to know the truth of it.
Oh my gosh! Oh hey, Paul Chomo from Varmints is on. We already gave you a big shout out, brother. Oh my gosh!
Yes, yeah, Paul, and we need a Varmints show on Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers. We need the Jeepers Creepers creature.
So for me, even though it was not a holiday,
that was you know what? It's all, as long as it's a good story. You know, we don't really. It doesn't have to be a holiday.
What's insane is that like I said, it might be like a 7-hour drive.
We still got to get Paul on here. He's got a story about a bathroom apparently, and I still haven't talked to him and Donna about that. So
it was a Jeff Jarrett holiday.
It was a Jeff Jarrett holiday. There you go.
It was Double J Day.
Oh my gosh, that was thank you so much, man. You've given us 3 great stories. That was phenomenal. I'm blown away. Thank you so much for coming. 2 different
titles.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And I'm sure you have a million more, so we'll have to have you back.
Oh my gosh, dude, yeah, we're gonna listen to Oh, absolutely. We're gonna definitely have to have you back in.
We haven't even gotten to Casey
gosh.
territory yet.
We could do a whole episode on it. The nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, and I would love to hear it like right now, but we're at like a minute 5 or an hour 5.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Booze. That's what you get, folks. So anyway, hey, go ahead and talk about yourself a little bit. Where are you gonna be next? Where can we find you? Where can we see you? Where can we buy your merchandise?
And where are you champion at?
Where are you champion at?
I am currently the heavyweight champion of 01 USA, independent promotion operating in Central Illinois, mainly out of Mattoon, Illinois. Great company. Very, very pleased that they're like making strides this year to like be a big thing. Be sure to follow them. You can follow me on Twitter at Bitter Lunatic. Also on Snapchat.
A great follow.
Thank you.
He's a bad guy.
I am.
He actually likes my stuff when I mention him.
I do.
Did you know that he even made his girlfriend work on her birthday?
You are such a
the pimp hand strong with this one.
Pimp hand strong.
Dude, sometimes the pimp hand wraps itself around a brick, and you got to put it down. Let's see. I do have a Facebook, but I really don't like using it. I think Facebook is the white trash of social media. So
how about Instagram?
Facebook. I don't have Instagram.
Gotta get Instagram, man.
I know.
I get more followers on Instagram than I do on anything else.
It would fit you.
Yeah.
I get more off Instagram than I do anything else.
Maybe I gotta finally break down and get one.
I'm sad though whenever I look at your Snapchat because yours is filled with succulent meats and beer and all sorts of delicious looking food. And I, on the other hand, am on a diet and am eating like a muscle mac with tuna. Big difference.
My buddy Ryan has just joined us. We're just wrapping it up, too. Good to see you, Ryan. But yeah, go ahead.
Be sure to follow, companies that I wrestle for. 01 USA, NWL out of the St. Louis and Missouri area. Funky Monkey Wrestling here, Northern Illinois, Sterling area. Funky Monkey Wrestling. And
nicest guy ever runs that.
That is also true. Just follow me on Twitter, follow me on Snapchat. Might cave eventually and get an Instagram. We'll see. And also you can feel free to YouTube Christian Rose Wrestling because I think the rest of the time it comes up with like some weird Christian rock music.
Not Christian Rosenberg.
How could that get confused? I'm confused.
Dude, it's crazy. Like I even tried to vanity search myself one time on Twitter, and all I got was like religious shit and gardening tips.
You know what's funny about my show? If you go to iTunes and you look up My Worst Holiday, we're always, constantly, from the beginning, attached to super awesome North Korea. And I called.
Do not
I
make
didn't
the
call.
mistake.
All you can do is email them on Apple Podcasts. All you can do is email them.
Okay.
So I emailed them, and they said, "Oh yeah, we understand. Go fuck yourself." So it's an algorithm, and that's what it is. But anyway, we are My Worst Holiday at gmail.com, and that's where you can find us. MyWorstHoliday.com. We are on Radio Public. Look at us at Radio Public. Always leave a review. Always, if you love us, if you like us, if you don't like us, I don't give a fuck. Go on to iTunes and leave a review. Tell me I'm the best. Tell Jay he's the best. Tell him he's the worst. I don't care. gmail.com. Send us boob pictures.
Yes, that's the most important
That's
thing.
the most important part. You can see us on, it's MW Holiday on Facebook. It's MW Holiday on Twitter, or Instagram. And it's My Worst Holiday on Twitter.
And the political views expressed on our page is of MW Holiday.
Specifically.
Because he usually controls all that stuff, and I am on the other end of the spectrum politically.
Oh, no.
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah.
From a room next to my bathroom in my basement, this has been My Worst Holiday. Oh, wait. I want to do some shout-outs. Always. Just Talking with Sam. Always Varmints. Tetrabyte Podcast. Seshcast. Oh my gosh, yeah. Baked and Awake.
Blizzard the Wizard.
Blizzard the Wizard. I love Eli. Noise Pollution. And who else do we got there? I don't want to leave anybody out. Sarah Varner's going to have something coming up. Jessica Hoon Eckert.
Who never comes out with a new episode. I know you're going through some stuff.
Who I absolutely love. I do too. I just absolutely love that chick.
We love Jessica.
She's with the Grave Truth.
Which is a great podcast.
Who else do we got?
I don't know. Gilbert Gottfried?
Gilbert. No,
Rogan?
He doesn't need anything. If we forgot it, we fucking love you. So from a room next to my bathroom in my basement, this has been My Worst Holiday.
Dr. History? I love Dr. History.
That was fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh,
nice real handshake that time, like a boy.
All right. Yeah, it'll probably be next week we'll have this up. We've been slacking. We had a glut of them, and now we'll...
Yeah, well, we were supposed to be on Trivia Geeks tonight. Like, Trivia Geeks was going to be, like, a big thing for us. Right. And apparently, like, half the people had to work or some shit like that.
Then they realized who we are.
No, she was like, I was so looking forward to you and Jay.
Really? Why?
Well, apparently. Well, you've listened to other people's podcasts,
right?
Right?
Oh, my God.
Oh, they're fucking
Dude,
bad,
Eli just put one out, and it's just fucked up.
Which one did you?
The one where the cat's taking over the podcast.
Oh, Eli?
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it.
Oh, it's fucked up. It's hard to understand the cat. I'm just going to have to smoke pot or something.
Yeah, it's so fast. It's so fast. Oh, hey, everybody. Hey, have a good night. Oh, my niece, Michelle. I love you, Michelle. Happy birthday. I fucking love you so much. God, I love you. And I'm sorry you missed the rest of it. Mindy, love you. You know what? Let's bring you guys on. Let's see if I can find you. You can join in and say hi. Let's bring Jia.
Maybe.
There you see.
Or we're going to shut you off. One or the other.
Mindy, we'll bring everybody in. Let's bring how many people in we can bring.
Like a group hug.
It is like a group hug. Can't bring in. All right. Oh, well, hey, I love you fuckers. And
hey, I see all you people the same week. Why don't some of you come on as guests? Some of you have come on as guests, but, some of you got to be funny.
They are. Hey, there's Dave.
Hey.
Look, there's my Australian friend.
I don't have a shirt on. Is that a problem?
That's not a problem
at
all.
Makes it even better.
Are you kidding?
Hey, he works for a living with his shirt off.
Exactly. How many times have you been on my show or seen my show?
Me? A few times.
Yeah.
Couple of times.
Yeah.
Best stories ever.
Show us your nipples. My man. Why are they off to the side?
Hey? Why are they off to the side? Yeah. Fuck.
It should be like two eyes looking at you, but it's like two eyes looking at the other direction. I'm just saying.
What? Like
he's part of the illustrious Mark Jumped on His Punchline Club.
That's the best when that happens. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, everybody on Facebook Live. This is my buddy Jay Chaffee from the Man Brain Podcast.
He's our patron saint.
He's our patron saint, our hero. Love this guy. Nobody does more for other podcasters in the world than this guy with the headband and the sideways nipples. So
are you like a gangster rapper now?
That's my man.
No, No, I think you're doing more for other podcasters. You're doing pretty good. Reaching out. You're better at pretending to like other podcasters too.
Dave, fun fact, doesn't have a filter.
No. Nope. Surgically removed.
No, I got a little guy in my head.
Took it out with his appendix.
Yeah, I got a little guy in my head that says, don't say that. And
I do not have that either.
And he's got a little guy in his head that says, fuck him.
Yeah.
I do not have either.
The thing is, I'm really tame. It's the characters I play.
Yeah.
And Hank.
He has a character. He has one character called Skullfucker.
Yeah.
Sounds very untamed.
Yeah. He's got what is Hank your brother? What's Hank? Hank's your...
Hank's a character played by another person who's
but
who's
Hank?
got a secret
Who's your
identity,
brother?
but you know who he is.
Yeah.
He's got like
Hank
respectable jobs and shit. So
yeah, Hank went to the movies with a girl, and they seen Free Willy. And halfway through the movie,
She freed Willie,
and
Good for you,
and
man.
as a youth.
Yeah, and
Where things are pent
and
up.
anyway, his youth, so he's young, he's strong.
He's young and he's strong.
And he shot it on the back of the girl in front of him.
Hank is our hero.
yeah.
I was so, you know what? I'm bummed that I missed that podcast, but I'm happy I missed that podcast.
Oh,
because I'd be like, oh yeah, well this is what I did.
Yeah, let's do a one-up. It's still to this day that Aardvark didn't have that coming. So anyway,
I don't think I could top that. Might make a run at it. Probably can't top that.
What do you got?
You're too old to make a run at it.
So I think I'm going to call this my worst holiday after dark. Like, this is after the show ends. Like, what do we got going on after the show ends?
Like an after show. Yeah, that's cool.
The after show.
For sure.
Which is super boring. Mark hangs out with his family. I go work out usually.
I go grab a chair. I'll be back.
I think I'm actually going to have to head out.
Is that right?
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Well, we're going to wrap this one up. Dave,
Later, dudes.
thanks for joining us.
Cool episode.
All right.
See
Love
ya.
you, brother. All right, man.
See you. How do I turn this off?